Good afternoon, Citrus Club members. Welcome back to Jake's Journal. Today we're going to do a little team member spotlight, and it is going to be called Christmas in February. So I have with me today our food and beverage director, Biff Christmas, who has been just an amazing addition to the team. So I'm going to put him on the spot today and go through a series of questions. And you're going to get a chance to know a little bit more about Biff himself, maybe his upbringing, and then some of his favorite things that I'm going to extract out of him. And instead of the 12 days of Christmas, it's going to be the 12 questions of Christmas. So Biff, welcome, and so happy to have you part of the team. So
thank you.
Today we're going to let it fly. You have obviously two unique names, and so I'd love to have you maybe tell the members a little bit about where these names come from.
Well, I go by Biff, and I have all of my life, but my real name is Benjamin Franklin Christmas II. I was named after my grandfather. Biff, though, as most people wonder where it came from, you see it in movies, Back to the Future, obviously the one everyone reminds me of. But the name Biff comes from Benjamin Franklin. BF became Biff. And through my life, I've met 7 Biffs, and 6 of us are Benjamin Franklin. So kind of an interesting little fact there.
That's awesome. And you're probably wondering, are we going to have a glass of wine as we sit here and chat and you get to know Biff? The answer is yes, we got a little nickel, and we have a little Gorgich Hill. So obviously my wine glass trumps his wine glass, but we're going to have a good time. All right, so my understanding is that you grew up in Maryland. You've told me a little bit about that. What was intriguing was the house that you grew up in. So maybe tell the members a little bit more about the house.
Right, the house is pretty neat. It's on a farm. I grew up in a horse racing family in Maryland, a pretty famous horse racing family back east. But the house itself is one of the second oldest houses in the area. It's 258 years old at this point. The walls are all about 2.5 feet thick, and it's all very historic. And back in the mid-70s, when they were getting ready for the bicentennial, the Historical Society came out and identified 3 different bricks in the house that were shipped over. They actually knew the villages in France where the bricks were made and the ships that carried them as ballast. So it's kind of a lot of really neat history to this old house. And interesting place to grow up. Definitely some things that happened there that may or may not have been ghosts. But we certainly couldn't discount it.
That is amazing. That's awesome. So growing back east, a little bit different from the West Coast that I grew up. Sports were a big part of your family, part of your community. What sport did you play, Biff?
Well, I had 3 older brothers, and all of us played lacrosse from an early age and straight on through. Never played baseball in my life because on the East Coast, naturally, lacrosse is huge. And the home of lacrosse is really based in Baltimore. Johns Hopkins, their college team is always perennially
nationally
one
ranked.
of the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
I started playing lacrosse in Pee Wee League and played all through elementary school, middle school, high school, and would have gone on. Had I gone on to college, I would have played in college. But,
well, that's near and dear to my heart. My son is a lacrosse player. He is converted. He used to play all sports, and now he's 100% lacrosse, and he has been for the last 5 years. So it's a great sport.
It really is. And, for the people that don't know much about lacrosse, it's like ice hockey, except with cleats.
Yeah.
And less padding.
Yeah, and you get to beat the heck out of each other.
Right.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to get into the 12 questions of Christmas. So since I understand you grew up on a horse farm, I'm going to ask the question, who's faster, you or Secretariat?
Well, at least for the first step, probably me. I do have an interesting Secretariat story. Ronnie Turcotte, Secretariat's jockey, had a younger brother, and his younger brother actually rode for me when I trained horses, which I did until my mid-20s. And so because of that connection, I have a signed picture of Secretariat and Ronnie Turcotte on my desk at home.
That's amazing. So if anybody wants to race Biff, at least to the first step, we have patio racing, I think every night's available.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day. That's great. All right, we're going to do some quick questions and some answers. So I'm going to ask you, red or white wine?
Red.
Red all the way. Love to hear it. Give me your most favorite starter when you go out to dinner.
Baked oysters.
And I think we've had them on the
we did them for
menu
one of
a
our
couple
wine
of
dinners,
times.
and they were quite popular.
Fantastic. How about your favorite salad?
Caesar.
Hail Caesar, absolutely. And then your entree.
Gonna be a ribeye.
You like that ribeye? How do you like that cooked? What's the temperature?
Gotta be medium rare, even closer to the rare side.
Closer to the rare, and you're going to have a nice glass of cab with that, I'm taking.
Absolutely, yeah.
Excellent. And then how about your favorite dessert?
Ooh, that's a tough one. As you know, somebody who just lost 45 pounds, I'm kind of taking it easy on desserts, but definitely something with chocolate in it.
Something of chocolate. Well, we can probably figure that out in the kitchen with Chef Rudy. All right, you get 3 guests for dinner. Who are they?
Well, besides you and my wife and daughter, let me see. That's a good question, and I think you probably gave me a tip on that, and I forgot to really think that one through. But I would have to think they're going to be famous chefs, and I could love to sit down and have dinner with Wolfgang Puck because I think he's really interesting. Bobby Flay would probably be in there, and maybe Gianna.
Oh, fantastic. 3 great choices. Can't go wrong with that. All right, Scotch or bourbon?
Bourbon.
All the way.
Bourbon, yeah.
All the way. I knew that. I think I already asked you, or you told me that ribeye, New York, or filet. I know it's the ribeye, medium rare, maybe on the rare side. That's great. And then I know that you played lacrosse, so you didn't play baseball, but growing up in the Maryland, Baltimore area, your favorite Oriole or Colt back in the day?
Well, I got to know a lot of them through the restaurant industry back in Baltimore and outside of Baltimore. Artie Donovan is probably the most interesting and most hysterical guy you ever want to meet. You know, I got to know Johnny Unitas, Brooks Robinson, all the big famous athletes of the day back then. But Artie Donovan never, he always left you in stitches. Absolutely the funniest person you ever want to talk to.
That's cool. Good to know. And then the last couple other questions, soft shell or steamed in terms of that crab, since you're from crab country?
Well, it is. Everybody there, you know, literally is all about the blue crab, and everyone likes the steamed crabs. It's a great social event, but I do love the soft shell. And take it as a sandwich or as an entree.
Excellent. Very good call. We might have to bring that here one night if
We're
that is around the
considering
corner,
that.
right?
That's right.
then-
They'll be coming in season in about a month.
Oh, you heard it live. And then the last question is probably very, very pertinent. What is your favorite holiday?
Well, it's kind of, it would be just wrong to not say Christmas, but growing up in a family of 4 boys, Christmas was always fun in our house. Ironically, my mom's maiden name is White, so at their wedding they played a White Christmas, and their first child was born on Christmas.
Oh.
He always got robbed because he basically got one extra present for his birthday.
Oh, that's a great story. Well, members, I hope you had a great time getting a chance to know Biff a little closer. He's an unbelievable team member. We're so happy to have him here. We think it's Christmas every single day, not just in February. So until then, we'll see you around the club. Tee it high and let it fly.